Be what you have to do. Cause this feeling goes away today. I should listen you. Just put us started to escape. But I find it hard enough to go. Rain today. Just you, Look beside me, the picture by our bed. The sense is pounding and crowding up my head. In cold, where the things I should sleeping, and you're driving car, but I don't know. Shadow around you all, even no kiss. I will know Both because we will have no days to tell. So what would it be? Keep me taking. And you think that everything is
What it is and what it ain't, man. You know what it's time for. It's time for 180. What? It's time for another edition of the full 180 Convo. I'm yours truly, DJ TRWKY. How is your Tuesday? 7 days is the countdown. 7 days is the countdown until a teacher summer. If you a teacher out there, man, I got one thing to say to you. It's been a long, long time coming. But it's here. Lord is here. I knows there was a God when I seen you sitting. I knows there was a God when I seen May 24th. I knows it. I knows it. Or if you can take the kids home and do something with them. Just do something with them. Teach them some manners. Teach them 2 times 2 is 4 instead of what's on the new game. I'm just saying, do something. But teachers, it's almost that time. Talking to the players, talking to the show. You all ready? I am. I'm definitely ready. But look, man, that's how we get down to Tuesday. I'm just having a little fun. Tuesday, man, yeah, it's about that time, man. It's time to end the summer, end this year, go back to the lab, start over, scratch it up, do some things different, go back, start back in August for a whole nother year of teaching kids their basic skills when they get in life. Look, that's all it is, man. So look, I definitely appreciate the kids that I get to teach. All the ones I call my kids, like I'd say my school daughter Samantha. Boy, I tell you, I got so many of them. I've never had so many like kids just love on me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll tell you, I be having bad days, and these kids come out of nowhere and they just be loving on me. I be like, you know what? I'm probably the only man in the world get all this love. If you want to know why I would say I want to have a daughter, ooh, you don't understand. Because when your mama acting right, I know where I can go get it. Daddy, you want me to? Yes, yes, because your mama ain't, she in her feelings. She over in the corner, and they're watching waiting next here. I ain't brave. Don't do it. Don't set this house on fire. It's gonna be a problem. I promise you, it's gonna be a problem. But man, look, you know how we do now. Here's the full 180 Convo where we take you in your 360, give you a couple things that we went through, and we talk through some things. Just maybe give you a better idea of how to think of what's going on, and maybe another idea, another way to approach it. That's all I think. That's what we do here. We try to make couples better as well as individuals of our culture better, so we can extend our race. I never do it by myself. So she is graduating May 17th. She turns up for the people. It's none other than your girl, the AP finally graduate with the LLPC in her master's. Lil she rich.
Hey,
You know, turn like it's much mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it's going down. It's been a long time.
it's been a long time.
How you feel? How you feel now?
I feel good.
You can taste it. It's right there. It's right there. You
I mean,
taste it.
it's right here,
You see the paper. The paper. It's official like a referee with a whistle, huh?
Yeah, we just, walking across the stage, taking care of the ceremonial stuff.
Look, because it ain't official without the ceremony. We got to have the ceremony. Hey, man, I'm definitely proud of you, kid. Look, it's been a long time coming. Now everybody can say they went and got it, but they got I heart you too. I learned that like last year. I was like, what do y'all do? So now I understand what that means. But yeah, man, congratulations. I always say, hey, man, we women moving around in the world. These men got to catch up. Don't get in where you fit in, brother. All we ask is that when you start getting, the thousands and the hundreds of dollars, don't forget about the ones that was in the corner, which when you was eating peanut butter and jelly, now you eating filet mignon and got a shelf. Yeah, I'm just saying. Don't forget about the one that was sitting in the corner with you, giving you a ride when the car wasn't working. Yeah, I'm just saying, we be forgetting about them people. We forgetting about the people. Now, other than that, man, I'm definitely excited for your graduation. Just to hear that you have your master's. Everybody can't do it. Some people get kind of discombobulated to do it, but you've seen it straight through. So you are a perfect example of what your daughter needs to see so she can get to what she needs to get. So I definitely applaud you. Give you all your flowers right here, right now. Salute, player.
Thank you.
I'm ready. So let me get to a couple things. Let's see. If you want to, let me do this. So you want to join the show? I always have to do this. Scan the barcode, right? It's gonna pop up on your screen. Scan the barcode, you get all notifications, what we got going on. We're gonna get in the streets this summer, do a couple things. We're gonna do a couple live shows. Look, it's ready. We got it locked and loaded. I promise you it's going down. The summer's going to be lit with the full 180 in a couple different places. I even got some sponsors now. So look, the Lord is definitely blessing us in a way. So I'm definitely gonna use a blessing to what we need to do, man. Look, another thing is if you have not been yet, please come out. R&B bingo on Thursday, Webby's being, the whole Masonic family's being, the Sistars being. Hey man, it is a fun time. $20 to get you 150. I think them are good odds. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm gonna shut up about it. Look, whatever you tell them. How was R&B bingo at Bar Louie on Thursday?
Oh, it's thebomb.com. No pun intended. But it's cool. It's a good way to, since we bringing R&B back in 2024.
That's it.
I'm all here for it. Real music coming back.
Real music coming back. And look, we do 80s and 90s, and then we do the 2000s. You ever played the preschool game, bingo with numbers? We just do R&B music. Basically, if you hear Anita Baker and it's on your paper, you dab your paper. 5 in a row, get you 150, man. Make sure you follow us at I think it's DFW R&B Bingo or R&B Bingo DFW.com. One of those. Make sure you follow that website, man. And we're there every Thursday. First game starts at 8:30. We normally play 2 games. And while we're doing that, we're also doing karaoke. So you can definitely get your sing on because little Usher right here, she always gonna do something.
Hey, not too much, Tricky, not too much.
Little Usher. And women, I want to encourage you to check out my man, the internationally known comedian Big Husky is putting on an all women comedy show May 19th, the Arlington Improv, the Brunchy of Love comedy show and more. It stars none other than Key, your comedian, as well as Phaedra, Nana OC, Leila A, and Carmen Keys. When I tell you all these ladies are funny, it is an all ladies comedy show. I believe it starts at 3 p.m. You can go get your tickets now, but it is going down May 19th. Brothers, you ain't got that. If you get that last minute Mother's Day gift, hey man, this be a perfect gift to get home to Sunday. You can send her to the show. You can stay at home, watch the game. I'm just trying to put you on game. Just trying to get you there. So if you want to do that, you definitely can do that. Let's see what else we got going on. That has passed. I tell you the karaoke thing. All right, so look, we're gonna go right here. So I got something to read. I'm gonna tell you what you think, all right? So this is what it says. It says, choosing a wife is an investment in your peace of mind, a show of the respect of your boundaries and respecting your time. A woman with a consistent wifey character can be a wife to a dude that's addicted to drama, subconsciously love Dr. Combs. Now we got Transformers. Dr. Combs. A good woman is too boring for him. He loves chaotic coochie. Chaotic coochie. Oh, okay.
I didn't know that they had different levels.
There is chaotic coochie in the world. I can raise my hand. He really loves Dr. Combs and women manipulators. He isn't used to genuine woman kindness, or he considers it a weakness. A man can't be going home to no headaches. It shows your ego is afraid of failure in a failing marriage or relationship. I don't know how some men do it. I love me like no other because I don't have any problems with being single. I'm going to invest in the woman that's good for my soul, that makes me laugh and runs her mouth with me because she trusts me. A woman's substance of soul, intelligence, and character matters because physical fades fast and the it girl can't be it forever. Understand DNA, mental health, emotional health, and how she was raised matters. So I ask you the question, Lil Wendy, do you agree or do you disagree?
I can see where he's gathering that. I think he's reminding men to leave the thought to cons along. I didn't even know what a thought to con was. That was
I
today's
didn't know.
episode.
Yeah, I want to get somebody to make a shirt for somebody I know. Dr. Cons, put that on their shirt.
Robots in the sky. No, hoes in the
Uh,
skies.
now hold on. What they tell DJ Red, you have a thought job. So I'm gonna give me a shirt that say Dr. Cons.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it.
here for it.
That's it.
So
That's it.
here
That's
for
it.
it. But
That's it.
there's some validity in what he was saying. That like dudes, like y'all have to invest in women. Also, y'all want us to invest in y'all. You have to invest in us. You can't be out here with the Thoticons and Transformers and the wannabe wives and sometimes girlfriends and think you finna marry them and they gonna just magically become a wife.
But sometimes it's hard to they present themselves. Well, even when you let's be honest, even when you're vetting correctly, there are times where you get lost in the sauce, and I ain't saying six. I'm just saying they doing all the right things, and you giving them that time frame, and they doing the same thing. I know everybody, they say you can't keep up facade for 30 days. Well, there's a whole lot of brothers out here been cheating 5 years and ain't been caught. So that's not true. But I do like when he said understand the DNA, mental health, emotional health, and how she was raised matters. Now I will say that, like, how you was raised does matter to me. Because if you out in a restaurant all loud and real ghetto, I can't. I don't want the roundaway girl. I want you to have been around the way, but you just didn't stay over. You left.
Well,
Like I went around the way and I came back.
I want you to know the difference between your salad fork and your dinner fork, your steak knife and your butter knife, and
Yeah,
teaspoon
but
and your teaspoon. Now, mm-mm, mm,
Latwanja and Juicy, they just be like, oh, can we get a guy? They're like, nah, we can't talk like this.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Even Derek may not know that.
Who?
Derek.
Derek. So my brother, she said it was syllable. I heard it. Oh man.
Don't be
But then I do.
surprised by LaQuanza.
Ooh, you know what? Sometimes you meet that ghetto chick. She what that is. Like, you're like, girl, I didn't know you were smart like this. Because, I know where you grew up at. That wasn't cute. So I just be like, oh, you kind of smart. But you grew up in the hood. Okay. So that's when we used to be shallow and not necessarily know what's going on, just this and that. So I get it. But I do like the word, I like some of the words that was used, invest. We need to understand this is an investment. And I'm looking for a return on my investment. Like, especially if I'm investing long term. Now I'm investing long term money, house, in the same room, bills, changing spare tires. I'm investing. So this ain't no like this is for real, and stop playing with me. So, but yeah, I go along with you. It is something that I can agree with as well. Certain parts of it, I don't chaotic coochie. I don't. Yeah, somebody
I
have
don't
to.
even know what that is, and
Yeah, somebody.
I
If
didn't.
you listen, tell me what that is. Like, just explain it to me, because I can't even find a definition of chaotic coochie.
I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's drama filled women or it's good and she chaotic.
Or she mad every other day.
Yeah, but because that's good, you keep going back
Yes.
to it. That's the only thing I can
Well,
think of.
okay. So look. So if that's the case, that means it's chaotic. It's chaotic penises too, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I used to always laugh when I used to hear women say, I want a man that can kick my ass, but won't kick my ass. Huh? So he weak if he don't shoot you in your leg when you run in
No,
your mouth.
no, I don't want to be
But
shot in the leg.
but I'm just saying, like when I just and then this whole thing about y'all liking to be grabbed around y'all neck, like I just can't picture Like, okay, maybe in the house, but like in public, you want me to like just put my hands around your neck?
No,
Like gently or whatever, come up from behind you and put my hands around your neck and
no,
whisper in your ear. That wouldn't work.
that wasn't for me. I don't like
Oh,
people
okay.
walking up behind me like that anyway. So,
But as long as you know who it is, then it's all right.
but
They
you still
gonna
can't
walk.
grab my neck though. That's weird.
Oh,
Who does that?
oh.
They
I'm
vampire?
just saying. I mean, not grab your neck, like just put their hand around your neck.
No, no. I'm okay.
Okay, all right. Well, it is what it is. So, look, with that being said, and he's talking about investing, I have a challenge for all our listeners. This is what I have a challenge to. I want you to know, with him being said, I think it's important that we have emotionally intimacy. What you think?
Absolutely. I saw this post the other day. Probably
Yeah, I said, you know what? This is very good. It's some things to think about. So I'm gonna read it out, and you tell me which ones actually stick out when I read it. Okay. So do
okay.
we have emotional intimacy? So wherever you are, if you watching, all our listeners across the states and city, I want you to later on to ask your significant other, your partner, ask them, your spouse, your man, not your no, don't ask them because they don't care. But ask the one that you really care about, right? Ask them this. Do we have emotionally intimacy? Do we self-disclose? Maybe I'm gonna let you explain in a minute. Do we show vulnerability? Do we deeply care for each other? Do we have a feeling of belonging? Do we embrace fun and playfulness? Do we have a deep feeling of safety and trust? Do we express our needs, thoughts, and feelings? Do we genuinely accept each other for who we are? Do we engage in deep and meaningful conversations? Do we validate, appreciate, and support each other? Do we understand each other's thoughts, needs, and feelings? So, two things I want you to do. I want you to give me three out of that list that are very, very important. And I want you to explain what is self-disclosure. Please.
I got you. Um, so what stuck out to me was don't judge me. Do we embrace fun and playfulness?
Mm-hmm.
Um, do we show vulnerability?
Mm-hmm.
And do we genuinely accept each other for who they are?
Okay. And
And
why? Why did
oh,
those stick out to you?
well, for me, what did I say first? Fun and playfulness. That's important because
Mm-hmm.
we gotta be friends first. We can't do
Mm.
nothing else. We gotta be friends. I mean, I think romantic relationships are nothing but friendships set on fire.
Okay.
Uh, do we genuinely accept each other for who we are? I've been in a situation before where that wasn't the case. I thought it was, but it never was from the start. So that's
Mm.
important to me. Even flaws in the stuff that's a thorn in your side, can you still love me and I love you, no matter how much you do stuff or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that we're not gonna always agree. We have different views and we can't get mad because we don't share the same viewpoints. We can share the
Mm-hmm.
same relationship goal, but not the same viewpoints in general.
Okay.
Uh, and then vulnerability. I never knew, even though I've been married before, I never knew how important vulnerability was until I wasn't married anymore. Go figure.
Mm. Well, I mean, that's your 180. You learned that, and I hope you're learning to be more vulnerable now that you understand what it is. Okay, well, cool beans. So look, man, I'm gonna put this up later on at the end of the show. I want you, and then I got something else for all our listeners and to do as well with your partners and whatever for the month of June.
You
What's
didn't
that?
answer. You didn't answer.
Okay, I'm sorry. So the ones that
Power Ranger. It's two
I
people in here.
apologize. So the one that definitely sticks out to me is do we understand each other's thoughts, needs, and feelings? Do we engage in deep and meaningful conversation? Um, and do we deeply care for one another?
Why?
Right. So why do I say do we understand each other's thoughts, needs, and feelings? For so long, I can only use me and a couple of things that I've with other people I've been around. It seems as though feelings always go one way, and I know we always say feelings not fact, but it seems as though nowadays that men are quote unquote sassy or being in their emotional space. Now women are having a hard time understanding a man's feelings, right? It's like we ain't supposed to feel like that. You ain't supposed to have those thoughts, but we do. Instead of instead of keeping those underneath the cover and not saying anything, now we're exposing those thoughts, those needs, and those feelings. And I think sometimes, and even women done it in the past, and I can even say it's on both sides where it's always, I heard you, but I didn't hear you. Or
Yeah.
I heard you, but there's no action. So you can't tell me you heard me, but then you're still doing the same thing over and over again, right? That doesn't make any sense, especially if we've had multiple conversations about it. So we need to understand that about each other, right? The other thing I said was having do we engage in deep and meaningful conversation. If anybody know me, my love language is physical touch, communication. What's the other one? I know one of them is acts of service. What's the one before that? There's five. Physical touch. Oh, quality time. Physical touch. I throw communication in there. Quality time and acts of service. Because see, my thing is you can talk all day. But if you ain't doing, I really don't believe what you're talking about. Because you're just talking. And if I find out you doing it and it's not really sincere, and the other thing to go along with what I said is that I like having conversations. I like to have a conversation about anything. Like me and this one here, we could be on the debate team because we like to debate. It don't matter what it is. Like we'll go back and forth about whatever subject. But I like meaningful conversation. Like I don't want to talk to you on the surface. Like if I ask you, say, you say you care about me. Well, what is it about me that attracts you to me? And if you just say, well, you cool and you this, you that. So now I'm thinking you lying. Because if I've been with you, because it's the kicker. If I've been with you for 2-3 years more or plus, and that's all you can say in 2 to 3 years, baby, you lying. And you shouldn't even be here. So let's have some deep and meaningful conversation. And then the other part is deep and meaningful conversation. You have to know how to reflect and say, hey, you know what? Hey, man, it's me. It ain't you. Like, I don't know why we have a problem with saying it's me. I'm the problem. I need to fix it. I need to fix it. But then you keep talking about you gonna fix it. Or like when people say this, when they say, well, God's still working on me. Well, when did he start? Because he did his part, he waiting on you. I'm just like, bro, leave me alone with it. Like, do something else. And the last one is, do you deeply care for each other? What I mean by deeply care for each other is what Webby taught me a while back. And when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to serve one another. Do you care about me enough to serve me? And I'm talking about to serve me when I don't piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
Like you at the top of your head, like if he go to sleep, I'm gonna stab him tonight. Because he just do stupid stuff. But at the end of the day, you still want to get up under me, underneath the covers, underneath this armpit, and we can go to sleep. And I can wake up with all my limbs in the morning. Like, do you really, really care about me? like for dudes, do you really, really care about her? Like I'm talking about, bro, if you said to her, I need you to do this, and she's still doing the opposite of what you're saying. It's like she's purposely pissing you off. And then she call you and say, baby, I'm stranded. You gonna come get her? Or you just gonna be like, look at the phone and be like, shit, fuck it. Like, so you gotta ask yourself, do you really, really care about this person? Like, do you really, really care about this person? So I think those three things stand out for me, or what makes sense for me. So you figure it out for you. What makes sense, what doesn't make sense. What's up, Miss Hyde? She said, I'm definitely going to use this list. Okay, I got something else for you too that I need everybody to do in June if you are coupled up. Okay, need you to do this in June. I'm gonna show it to you later. All right, so let's jump into it. The rest of the game they'll be here in a minute. Jules, D, D is he everywhere. Hey, he was on K104. Talking
Dion.
about his listening. Yeah, so Big D doing this thing out here in these streets. So I love my brother. So today we're talking about officially
What
missing
up, y'all?
you.
Hey.
There you go. Look at him. He everywhere. He on radio.
In the closet.
Your thing on K104 DD in the morning.
See you,
Yeah,
boy.
you know what I'm saying? You
Can I
know,
get your
it's,
autograph?
I mean, when you walk
it's
around
shut.
like Black History,
Yeah, that's all I got.
Black History. That's all I want to do. I want to start a Black History.
No, man. I
You look,
appreciate
and
y'all. You know what I'm
you
saying?
look like
All the
you shed.
support.
You
Huh?
like you shed some weight, dog.
I look like what?
Like you shed some weight.
Oh man, I am. I am. I've been in the gym. I'm trying
What
to get
you
ready
doing?
for the full 180 live. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, hey, it's coming. It's coming. But we're gonna do it right there in Cedar Crest. Right there in Cedar Crest. D
Yeah.
already got a spot for us. Right there.
I'm just trying to
So
get make sure we have everything together first.
hey
I'm
man, I
down.
definitely appreciate you, man. Make sure y'all check him out. CEO behind every back door. They're doing big things in the community. Like I said, my brother is Black History. You can go look him up. I promise you. So let's get into it. So what I'm talking about when I say Black History, I mean not Black History, officially missing.
Black history.
Yeah, my bad. So if you've seen it, let's see. I think I got it. Let's find out. Or do I have it? Other than I'll find it. I'll find it. So if you haven't heard it, Shawnee used to be O'Neal, who's married to Pastor Keon, which is my boy. Love that man. That boy be throwing some gems sometimes. Especially when he tell you to be quiet while we worship. Anyway, I'm not gonna do that to him.
Hey.
I
Hush.
know. I ain't
Hush.
gonna give it to him. I ain't gonna give it to him. But yeah. So, Pastor Keon's wife, which is used to be Shawnee, last name O'Neal, married to Shaq. She came out with a book called Undefeated, and in that book, I'm going to let Webby read the excerpt that's with that caption, and I can find it and display it as well. But she said something that I was like, wow. And I have so many questions and thoughts about it. So I thought it would be perfect to talk about. So, Webby, if you could read it for me, please.
Let Webby find it. I'm trying to see, how did you send it?
I got you. Hold on. If you don't got it, I definitely do.
Let Webby
I thought I
find it.
put it
That's a
up.
classic.
Yeah, let me find it. I thought I put it up here. But it's
No,
all right. It won't take long for me to do what I need to do.
sorry. I thought I don't know.
Yeah, we good. I got it right here. Look, I'm quick on my feet. I take
I'm sorry,
all the
I wasn't prepared.
It's
But
all
I can read
good.
though.
You can't. Well, I know you can read. Go ahead and read it for me.
I can't see it.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here we go. I apologize to our audience. My bad. Put it. Put you know. Put it to my head, not my heart. All right.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I'm good on my
Shawnee,
feet. I'm good. I'm good on my
what
feet.
she had said was, looking back, I don't know how that I was ever really in love with the man, but I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with. I was in love with the idea of building a life together. Quote
Mm.
unquote, Shawnee Henderson.
And then when I tell you, it's crazy because women been giving Shiny the blues. Like if you ever go read some of these comments, oh my God, they giving her all the blues, right? About this whole situation. But now it's a couple things I say good, and it's a couple things I say that are like, okay, we need I feel like that's a question. So now let's go over this. So looking back, I don't know that I was ever really in love with the man, but I was in love with the idea of being married to the man I had a family with. I was in love with the idea of building a life together. So I have a question. So reading this, At first, I came with the official mystery because I'm like, well, Shawty, you married and you missed the shot. I mean, you got into something good, you changed your life, and then you starting to reflect. That's a good thing. You're starting to reflect about certain things that was going on in their relationship, right? But I would love to ask her a couple questions, right? One question would be, Shawty, are you missing the man or are you missing the idea of the man again?
I
By
don't
what
think
you're saying.
either.
Okay, let's talk about it.
I think honestly, I think that she was being really transparent and
Mm-hmm.
saying that she had to question if she was really in love with Shaq, and she just came to the realization that she wasn't. She was in love with the idea, what he represented, and what narrative she created in her head. But the man itself, she wasn't in love with. I mean, I don't understand. I guess I don't understand why people were giving her such the blues. Because I can definitely understand and relate. Can I share my story? I was
You
going
can
to.
share your story, yes,
All
ma'am.
right, so before my current relationship, we're gonna say dating a guy named
Don't say his name.
Sir. His name was Sir, and not the massager, but Sir.
Oh my God.
No, it's anywho, he in DeSoto. But anywho, this guy named Sir. And when I met him, he was talking about, oh, he wanted to get married, this and that and the third. So my light bulbs is going off. I'm like, cool, bet you want to get married. I want to get married too. Let's see what we can make this thing do. So, but in the midst of that, I wasn't paying attention to what he was doing, what he was saying, because what he was doing and saying was not aligning to the things that he started off saying and doing. And I found myself like really liking this dude, or so I thought. And eventually he ended up saying that he pretty much wanted to be single and he wanted to do what he wanted to do. And he ended up ghosting me. And after that, I had to sit and realize like I didn't love this dude. I like what he represented. One, I liked what he said he was going to do, even though he didn't do it. And two, I liked the idea of what I created in my head. And I just bypassed what he was doing and what he wasn't doing because of what I wanted. I was so gun-ho in what I wanted. So is it not possible that Shawnee was just engulfed in the lifestyle that she had with him and not really engulfed in the man that she was with? That doesn't make her a gold digger. And is it not possible now that she's experiencing real love with her now current husband, which is why she's able to reflect and say, did I even love him in the first place?
Well, I do give her the reflection. I like the reflection. I like the responsibility and accountability um, for she's trying to give from her own actions. Now, truth be told, if you dig into the story, Shawnee did something, she did some things that wasn't right either. It just wasn't Shaq, it wasn't Mr. Put some respect on his name. It wasn't Mr. O'Neal. Uh, but Mr. O'Neal has said he has said, hey, you know what? I was wrong. I did stuff wrong. I did not treat her right. I wasn't a good husband. I was doing this. I was overwhelmed with so much other stuff that was going on, this, and that. And I wasn't right. I wasn't right. So I like the fact that he owns up to his mistakes. Now, my thing is, we normally hear, or I've heard so far, not all the time. So I'm not making this absolute, but let's just say about 70%. We normally hear in a breakup of what the wrong the man did, but there's never any heard of what wrong the woman did or how she played a part into what happened. I can use me because I got stopped in the mall and asked about I couldn't believe you did that to my ex-wife. And then when I told them stuff she was doing, they were like, you lying. And then years later, you called me and said, man, you was right. I need to apologize. Yeah, because you got her walking around like she innocent, and you see my action, but you don't see what started that action, what was going on, and then that's never talked about. So that's one thing I have. I see what she's saying that she didn't loved she loved the idea of him. She wasn't really in love with him. But I think, Shawnee, there's a little bit more that you need to speak about because I know some of the story and you played a part in that breakup. It just ain't on Mr. O'Neal. Period. But why is it, and I'm gonna ask you from a woman's point of view, why is it sometimes women just can't say, you know what, it's me. I know it's me. I know and I ain't saying it's me and I want to leave you, then go live happy ever after with somebody else. But like you in something. And you know damn well he is doing everything he needs to do to carry the load, to carry the relationship. He's trying, he's doing this. You tell him to change this, he's doing that, this, and that. And you know damn well you ain't doing nothing. Nothing. But instead of you saying, hey, you know what? It's not you, it's me. I got you doing all this frivolous and stupid stuff, but it's me that needs to change. It's me that cannot be the same. Oh, well, I'm gonna say that question. But why is it we just can't say, hey, it's me? From a woman's point of view. And you can correct me if that's wrong, if I'm wrong.
I mean, in my therapeutic mind, nobody wants to admit defeat, male or female.
But in a relationship and you love, see, goes back to when I say, do you really care about me? Do you care about me to really be honest and say?
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your first question.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
The first question is, I mean, it's difficult for people to admit defeat, that they were wrong or that they're not doing things as they should. And also, people like to play victim. Especially if they have been, even if they hadn't been victimized, people like to play victim.
Okay. Yeah, okay, well, good. You got me straight to the answer. I appreciate that. I've never understood that why it couldn't just be so easy to say, hey, it's really me. Like
that's not easy for some people.
I see. So it's okay, so good. It's not easy for people, but why is it? It's so what's the word I'm looking for? It's so inevitable or it's so demanding for a man to just say you're wrong. Just say you're wrong, bro. They do that in marriage counseling, sir. Just say that you're wrong. Just say that you're wrong. And you know you're not wrong. But I have to admit defeat in order to keep the peace or in order for this relationship to keep going on.
Well, I think sometimes keeping the peace can be toxic.
Please expound.
Because we're all of a more seasoned age group. And we were taught, just keep the peace. Just keep the peace, just keep the peace, sweep it on the rug. That's what we're taught. Not knowing until we get grown and we know better that keeping the peace ain't what that is. Keeping the peace keeps you hurt. Keeping the peace keeps you traumatized, living in that past. Keeping the peace keeps you silent when you need to talk. So, and when counselors and your counselor for teaching you that was absolutely wrong for saying it to you in my almost profession.
Thank you. Almost profession. D, you got anything before I ask the next question?
Oh yeah, sure. I think it's more or less a conversation in general about ownership. In any type of like committed relationship, whether it's like intimate relationship or work relationships. I mean, a person who does things and just fail to take ownership is always tough. You know what I'm saying? But expect you to take full ownership for everything that you do. And that's a hard place to be in. So no question. I think Shani O'Neal with the Shani situation. Shani O'Neal didn't write that book. Shani Houston did. And I think that's Shani O'Neal was in love with Shaq, whether she realized it or not. You know what I mean? Like a woman that's going to consistently lay down. I'm sorry to say it this way, but a woman that consistently lay down, open up her legs, and get this man 5 kids. That's not somebody that you don't love. You know what I'm saying? And Webby, from a woman's perspective, you're just not doing that for anybody, right?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So Shani O'Neill, that's just perspective in my opinion. Shani O'Neill didn't write this book. Cause Shani O'Neill probably would have told you, like, nah, I love that nigga. Like, I really actually loved him. You know what I'm saying? Cause I knew what he was on, but I felt like I had to be there. Yeah, but
Mm.
did I love my lifestyle too? Yeah. I didn't want to get that up. But at some point, I felt like, she's basically saying she felt like that lifestyle was worth staying for. I think she probably got to a point where she actually loves the lifestyle more than she loved the guy. So she stayed around longer than what she probably should have. But she got a good dude in Pastor
Yeah.
Keon, and the reality is, okay, great, you got a good dude, but that don't mean you go shit on the one that, you know what I'm saying, that's really the father of your kids. That's also like worked his ass off to give you a lifestyle. He right? Was he 100% right? No, but this man is sitting back and taking ownership in all of that. Like, so I'll say it like this. I remember a situation where a girl I was dating, not even date her. I mean, I wanted to get to know her, but she just kept coming at me with all these demands. And then I ended up being at a dinner that she was at, and she tried to out me, much like a Shiny, just in a more lighter way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the people at the table called her out and said, "The way you talking about him, it sounds like you still like him."
Mm.
Hmm.
Well,
So it's some in her, it's some inside of Shiny that just won't let go of Shaquille O'Neal,
mm.
and she needs to just let it go and let good be good. You in the situation, let good be good.
Like that, like that, like that. So let
All
me
it
ask
is,
you this. So,
Raquel. If all it's in is some spinach.
okay.
Child.
So let me ask this.
Trying to put you on.
With that being said, do you? Because she said something about the idea, and then Webby explained her situation. So I want we all can answer this. Do you think people really want to be in the relationship that they're in, or is it just checking off uh, a thing to do on your list to do? And what I mean by this, like, so let's say you got this good dude. You found this good dude. He this, he that. And I'm gonna relate to something Webby told me something long time ago. Um, um, you meet a good dude. He's everything you want. This, and that. You still trying to heal. You still a little bit broken. But this dude fits everything. Like I said earlier, what we talked about last week. You found that unicorn that checked all them boxes, and they it right. And you still chaotic. Or what we was talking about earlier, with the chaotic coochie. You chaotic coochie, right? You still got triggers you have not taken care of. You still got old baggage you still lingering around. And I ain't talking about old baggage. I'm talking about old baggage that you still playing with. Stuff like that. But then you find this person who fits what you need, and they check off all the boxes of your list to do. Do you think? And so this person fits the idea of what you want in a husband. Because you say you want to get married, you want this, you want that, like Webby said. But so now you got this person that checks off your to-do list. So are you really wanting to be in a relationship? We can relate this both ways. We can relate this to us, and we can relate this to how this comment was given from Shawnee Houston. Thank you, D. Um, do people really want to be in a relationship? Or are they just, or it is just checking off a box of, oh, I'm in a relationship because it fits the idea of what they're wanting?
Some people, yes. Unfortunately. Like it's that whole stigma. I don't think it is anymore now, but it was, oh, you go to school, you go to college, you graduate, you get married, you have kids, white picket fence, two kids, boom. And so it puts this unnecessary pressure on women. I don't think it's like that now, but even when I was growing up, like to hurry up and get married and hurry up and have kids. I couldn't tell you how many times in my early 20s, even when I was dating my ex-husband at the time, Lord have mercy, we're not married. And we when y'all gonna get married? Then it was, well, when you gonna have kids? Well, shoot, we just got married yesterday. You know, and then you feel, so I think the societal pressures can make you feel like when you're in a relationship, oh, you checking off that box, oh, you've got married, oh, you checking off that box, and you're in a relationship from hell because you checked out the box.
Well, yeah, that's facts.
But what if you're the one causing the hell?
Either way, well, you're causing the hell because that ain't what you want to do. You just checked off a box because that's what.
So in other words, he's a place.
Expected to you.
So in other words, he's a placeholder, or
But
she's a placeholder.
either one. It
So
doesn't mean
that
that you
means.
don't love
So here's
them.
yeah,
Go ahead,
that's
I'm sorry to let you go ahead.
no. Here's the crazy thing about that. I'm still kind of even thinking about that Shawnee situation. There are people who like do move on, right, but never really get over the person, and that new relationship they're in, like they over glamify it just to kind of almost convince themselves that this is like everything, when deep down in their heart they wish that that other person was him.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's just interesting. I think a relationship box, yeah, people have those relational boxes that they do want to check because, yeah, you know, it sounds good to say you married, right? It sounds good to say, you know, at least to the world, like you're married. Well, this society is a little different about it. The society that we're adulting in at this moment, like people are indifferent about marriage, right? But I mean, to Webby's point, yeah, it can be a thing of pressure, but more or less, it could also just be a thing that that person always wanted in a vulnerable place. And unfortunately, Webby, I'm so sorry that dude did that. I almost want to fight him if I saw him. But the reality is, it's like he played on your vulnerability. And I'm sorry to have to use you an example of this.
I use myself. Good.
Huh?
I use myself as the example. You good?
Yeah. So he played a little bit on your vulnerability. And sometimes we can do that, especially if we know that's what you want. But if we won't, if we kind of like on that Tommy energy, that Tommy that Tommy energy, that GTD energy, uh
Mm.
sometimes, man, unfortunately as brothers, man, I hate we do this, but we'll use that to get what we want. Not all brothers are the same, unfortunately,
True.
but some brothers are very much that way.
True. I definitely agree with that. And then what I think with some of us brothers, we what up, nephew? We normally when we do that, and it's just not brothers, but I'm talking from the brother standpoint. When you do that, my brother, I need you to understand that you're getting somebody to fit the idea of everything that you want, and you know you really don't want them. You want to be somewhere else, or you want them to be somebody else. But the bigger picture is you're holding that person back from what the purpose of their life is really supposed to be about. It's like, why hold them? Let them go so they can be with the person and prosper that God has for them. Because they want you to be it, man or woman. They want you to be it, but you instead of playing this game and you know you really don't want to be here. So why hold on to me? Let it go.
So this is
Just
what happens. And I'm not saying it's right. Now we done had kids together. Now we done bought a house. Been together all these years.
All these years.
All these years. Knowing you ain't it. But we done had 5 kids. We done bought this house. We done bought cars. We've got a couple of businesses together. Leaving ain't that easy.
I agree with
Listen,
you.
leaving ain't
Definitely
that
agree.
easy.
I
Leaving ain't
definitely
that
agree
easy.
with you.
And staying
Period.
away ain't that easy either.
Mm-mm.
Even if you are away, I'm telling you, even if you are away, it's no way you put all of that investment into somebody and you don't think about that brother. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Especially somebody like him.
Right. She said now it's a choice like an arranged marriage. Yeah, yeah. You right. I give you that. So it was just like when she said the idea, and it was just like, so did you really want to be in a relationship with this brother? And I asked some of the people that are listening across the states, the person you looking at right now, that you in the kitchen, the person you about to go home and call, as soon as you get through this in the show, do you really want to be with that person? Or they just getting the idea or checking off a list, your checkbox because he's this and that, this, he goes to church, he works hard, da 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 da. I can have this, but you really don't want it with him. Because if you really want it with him, if you really want it with him, and I believe this wholeheartedly, if you really want something, if you really want your relationship, the two will find a way in order to be together. You would definitely find a way to be together. And I can use my own aunt and uncle. If I told y'all stories about my aunt and uncle that I seen growing up, and it would not be a lie. And if I show you to them, if I brought you to them today, you wouldn't believe none of the stuff I told you. So in my mind, the two said, look, I'm tired of doing this. You tired of doing this. We gonna have to get this right. Somebody hand raised. Who hand raised? Jules, is that you? What the hand raised? Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm sorry. I just seen it. I was like, the hand was raised. Where that come from?
Oh, I didn't even raise my hand.
Oh,
I'm just out with the kids.
oh, okay. Tell me you said what's up.
That's why I'm in the chat.
Oh, you good. I thought the hand was raised. Okay. So let's go a little step further. So I had another thought, right? And I asked this to Webby yesterday. So I believe if you are a person that speaks and acts out of emotion all the time, you are a dangerous person. And before you answer, I want you to think about this. Even the listener audience, I want you to think about it. Think about it. If you did everything, if you were to do everything you did, or you made every decision, or how do I put this? If everything you did was, excuse me, if everything you did was dictated from your emotions and feelings, where would you be today? I asked Webby that she got quiet. I was like, hello,
I
hello.
said somewhere underneath a rock. I know what I said.
But you got
Look,
quiet at first. So
if
when you
I
hear
haven't, I got you. Hold on. I don't know. Well, I haven't shared with the whole group, but I have anxiety. It is what it is. We working through it. My emotions too up and down to be leading and following directions from how I'm thinking and or feeling. Because how I feel at 8:28 is not how I'm gonna feel at 8:30. And it's gonna change again at 8:32. So yeah, I have to have logic. Now, sometimes do my emotions get the best of me? Absolutely. But
so
we
how
don't
do
do
you come
that on
how
air.
do you bring yourself out of your emotions to get back to the actual logic way of thinking about whatever situation, whether it's your daughter, school, your relationship, your mama, you, whatever. How do you get out of it? Or let's say you in the midst of an argument with your significant other. How do you get out of your emotions long enough to have a rational conversation?
So for me, I need a moment. A moment ain't 24 hours for me. A moment may be like, just give me a minute. That may be 10, 15, 20 minutes. It may be 2 hours, but just give me a minute to think it through. And I'll let you know which one it is that I need. So that I can think is if we're still gonna talk and I'm in the ceilings, I don't want to be regretful for what I may say. So it's best for me that I take a moment to be like, okay, let's table this conversation and let me come back. So, and
Well,
two, I
what if,
have
well,
to
what
talk
if you're
it
not
out.
in the feelings? Well, what if you're not in the feelings and y'all having, let's just say, a heated discussion or a discussion, a difference, like you said earlier, a dis. You said earlier one of those things you said be able to be on the same page and y'all both not agree. I'm paraphrasing, so I know I'm not saying it right. But what if you in that situation?
I mean, I may get quiet, but quiet doesn't mean I'm shutting down. Quiet just means I'm thinking.
Mm.
And I have to have the space to think so that I can be logical and collect my thoughts and try to figure out my next comment or statement, because I know me and I know how what that looks like operating in that state. So, and I try my best to not operate in that state at this big old age. I try my best. I'm not always good at it, but I know what it looked like at 21, 22, 23. And it wasn't pretty. Ask my ex-husband. He know. Just being honest.
And then you said quiet equals processing. I get that. You're definitely right. You need to write like space being to process. Uh, I believe sometimes that we use processing as a manipulation or a control because we don't know what to say. Maybe because they made sense and you caught me off guard. Now I don't know. I don't want to incriminate myself, so I'm gonna take time to think about it. I'm not saying this is it. This is absolute. I'm just saying some people do that. They use that word processing for a state of manipulation, or they use it as, damn, he telling the truth, but I can't say it. I'm not going to admit it. So then I got to come up with something. So then you do the whole shutdown thing and don't talk. Or the conversation, you use it as to stop the conversation or whatever, to deliberate for like X amount of hours. Some people do it for days, and then you want to have a conversation later on.
Okay, so I don't think people use processing as manipulation. I think people use silence as manipulation. Because
Okay.
I can be, because y'all, I was married before, did this. Me and my ex-husband would go weeks on end not talking. Weeks. I'm not talking about
Wow,
days. Two
that's
weeks.
crazy.
And when I mean not talking, it's like no more than hi, bye, here's the baby, go do this. But we weren't intimately talking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and so, but I wasn't processing, I can tell you that.
You weren't thinking about that, huh?
I don't know. I was done with the conversation. There wasn't anything else to process. I just didn't want to talk to you
Oh
because you
wow.
pissed me off.
DC, I'm gonna make you say something.
I mean, so and then he was just as stubborn as I was. So if I'm
Yeah,
stubborn, you stubborn. That's how we end
yeah.
up with weeks not talking.
Let me raise up both hands. I'm testifying. I will. And I'm gonna be brief and let everybody else say. I was so stubborn. And D, you probably gonna be disappointed in me, boy, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was married, you know how they say you supposed to cut. No, it's funny I'm saying this. We just talked about covering, didn't we? You supposed to pray for your wife and cover her and this, and that. Now, I'll be honest, I did not always do that right. And I'm gonna tell you why. To be very direct, and that's all I know how to do, because I didn't want to. And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't want to. Because it was in my mind, it's just like I have carried this relationship, I have talked to you, talked to you, and talked to you, and talked to you. And I'm just using my ex-wife. I'm not saying she's a bad woman, but I would never say that. It was just those moments I remember there, and then I've had those moments recently. But in those moments, it was just like I'm carrying the relationship. I'm talking to you. I'm trying to work this out. Every time we talk about something, you always in denial. It's always this. It's always that. Whatever I say gets twisted around and turned on me, and this is like we're not even talking about me. We're talking about you, and we just having the conversation, and we in the sittings, and I was dead wrong. Well, we both were wrong. We was in the ceilings, hollering, this and that. Of course, nobody's trying to listen to nobody. Both people trying to get their point across and be heard, and they ain't trying to hear what the other one's saying. I was doing more reacting instead of listening to listen. But it got so bad, and I felt so pushed of like you always going against anything I say. Anything I think is best for us is always a problem. And I talked to you about it before we do it. I have an email now. We was talking about money. I can show it to you. It's just like I was trying to be so sincere and be like, "Hey, well, baby, we need to do da 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 da." Well, I don't know that. It's like, you know what? Forget it. Take the gloves off. So at that point, it was like, pray for you for what? Like it got to the point where, and I really don't know if females understand this or not, but for me, if it gets to the point, I don't want to talk to you. I don't have nothing to say to you because I know every time I talk to you, you always in your feelings and you in your emotions, and everything I say, you're not hearing it. We talked about changing, but you still ain't changed it. We've had this conversation. We've been to a marriage counselor. We've been to a couples counselor, and you still not. It. I can't say as it dwindled down the relationship that we were good for 2 weeks without having an argument. Or and it'd be over something petty, something simple, like very simple. And it got to the point where I wouldn't talk. So then you ask me if I'm good, and I tell you, yeah. And I'm not. I'm hurting inside, I'm broken inside, but I don't want to talk to you. You know why? And it goes back to what Jules put on there. When the man said he'd rather be miserable than vulnerable, because when I was vulnerable and I tried to be vulnerable with you, you called me a bitch. And at that point, and you dismiss how I felt. So at that point, we ain't got nothing to talk about. Anything we talk about will be on the surface. But that whole, I want to pray for you, I don't. I'm not trying to, don't want to. And I know at this point that was a problem with me. And I can testify, raise up both hands, but that's where I was. Because I felt like it not felt like it was just it was so ingrained, like I'm just like, God, why is it so hard? Why is this so freaking hard to communicate with you? Later on, I found out you don't know how to communicate. And then you don't know how to communicate, then you definitely know how to listen because it's all about you. It ain't about us. You're thinking about you only. Go ahead, D.
Man, first off, I'm sorry you went through that, bro.
It's all
No,
good, man.
seriously.
It's a
No,
life
for real.
lesson.
I think, I when you said pray for you for what, I think that's a legitimate question. Like, I don't know what to pray for you about. All I know is what I'm experiencing. And many times it's just as simple as inviting God into what you're experiencing and praying
Mm-hmm.
God give you wisdom to see like what's the root problem in that. It would also give you wisdom to see beyond that, not beyond that, but just have a pathway to understand how to fix that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, man, that's heavy. That's loaded. I would just say, this, man. This is a question to the group. What do you think a man's biggest turnoff in a relationship with a woman is? Just in general.
Lack of respect.
Okay.
Being heard.
Okay. Huh?
I
Being
second.
heard. What'd you say, Jewel?
I was going to second what Webby was saying. Lack of respect, and not having peace in the home.
Yeah, not having peace and lack of respect. I think that's great. What is a tangible way, Webby, that lack of respect can show up?
Come back to me. Let me think.
All right, I'm gonna give you 15 minutes, Webby.
Only 15 minutes.
No, I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Um, Jules, what about you?
Lack of respect could be like, um, lack of respect could be like if y'all agree for him to do something, going and undermine him to do it behind his back or do it not giving him the opportunity, a lack of respect to be calling him out his name, being disrespectful to him, a lack of respect to be just showing up in a way that doesn't represent either one of y'all.
Yeah.
D, they
So
have behavior, disregarding your opinion, lack of recognition, lying, envy or jealous, giving silent treatment, ignoring boundaries, lack of privacy. That's just a few that popped up.
yeah, I think there are a series of things that lead up to the realization that person really just don't have a respect for you. Just like there's a series of things that can lead up to say, hey, look, if you don't know that person don't ultimately trust you. What would you say from a woman's perspective? Like, what is a woman's probably biggest turnoff in the general sense of when like they're dating a man? Like, what could be their biggest turnoff? Like a really big turnoff that women commonly, speak to.
Lack of protection, lack
I
of
was gonna say security.
same thing. Yep.
Leadership.
So when y'all say security, can you be specific on what type of security you talking about?
Sure.
So like,
Go ahead, Jules.
I was gonna say, like, for me, security is also with like protecting my spirit, protecting my image, protecting, my emotions. Not necessarily protecting you. Well, my emotions. When I say protect my emotions, I mean being honest with me, telling me the truth. Don't allow me to be out here looking crazy. That's a part of my protection.
For me, if we're going to use the words protection and or security, protecting what I share with you, protecting my heart, and I'm gonna throw one in there, Jules. Provision.
Yes.
Provision, like what?
Have something that we're moving towards, that you have a plan for us to be successful. And even if you don't know what that plan is, you're moving in a direction to figure that out.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Webby. Go ahead.
You good.
The common thing I hear men say that's like the greatest turnoff is how the woman speaks to him. Like, in just general sense, her mouth. How she talked to him. Like, in many cases, I've heard and even seen from my own two eyes, she don't talk to nobody else in her life like that. But she talked to him like that. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, like, I don't know, man, just the male experience, obviously, which is not obvious to a woman because she's not a man, but I mean, men can relate to the fact that, man, it's already tough, you know what I'm saying? In so many different facets, and women can relate to that too, right? Just in living life and all the different things you got to navigate through, and perspectives and narratives. And your home is supposed to be your safe place, right? And if you can't be safe at home without being called a bitch, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Like, that is some disrespectful shit. Like, I'm sorry, it pisses me off to hear it, because at the end of the day, I think that's just a sign of no effing respect. When you call a brother a B, like, Webby, Jules, I think the world of y'all. Like, for y'all to get to a point where you call a dude a B,
Yeah, you have
like,
to push too far. But
huh?
I done done it
You
before.
just,
To be
oh,
honest,
you done it before.
like, at that point, I'm done. I've lost all respect for you. So, can't
I mean, now
Now, and I'm
I'm not saying that things can't get disrespectful and things happen, right? Obviously, right? But two things I don't ever want to hear a woman say to me. Don't call me no B. And if we're in a community, don't say F you. Like, because honestly, the when you say F me, like, bro, like, do you know what you're saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, by calling me a B, at that point, bro, like, nah, that's just a major no. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I say all that to say though, like a lack of respect, a lack of peace is true, right? But there's power in our tongues. And if we don't control, if we don't have any self-control of what we want to say and how any empathy to understand how that can make somebody feel, then that can be tough. That just really can be tough. And I hear it, yeah. But you don't understand what happened. Well, I may not, but at the end of the day, like if we got into a place where we talking like that, that means we're at a point of no return. And as a man, if I can't provide you, like you said, like the women have acknowledged, like if I don't have any vision for you, then I haven't earned the respect for you to follow me.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, so
If I, huh?
I mean to cut y'all off. This is for the men. I have a question.
Come
Since
on,
Mm-hmm.
you
Webby.
said that, why? And I'm not saying that the women has done anything. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just truly asking, why do men struggle with provision or having provision over a relationship? I'm not talking about what the woman is out here doing other, like, I'm just talking about just in the simplest term, why do men struggle with provision?
Provision. Can you kind of like unpack provision for me just a little bit?
Like,
Just you don't have to go real deep, but just a little bit.
why do men struggle with wanting to provide leadership in the relationship? And I'm not talking about with a combative woman or anything like that. I'm just, why?
well, truthfully, what you just said is why you struggle. It depends on the partner that you with. Like, it was easy for me to have, it was difficult to provide provision for somebody who still wants to be a sole person. What do I mean by that? You don't want the two to become one. We're married, but you still want to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it and how you want to do it. You told me a long time ago, and I was going to ask this later, and I'll bring it up. You told me a long time ago that you think you mentioned that you couldn't be the same person that you were in the relationship that you're in now because that wouldn't work. Right or wrong?
Correct.
So think about how you were as you talk, as we've heard you say, think about how you were, and now you've seen some errors of who you were, and then think about who you are now. I
Well,
bet you it's easy for him to provide provision for him to provide provision for you now. But think about how you were when your ex-husband was trying to provide provision. Was there times where you was just doing too much, where everything was always combative, where everything was always, well, why are you doing that? Or you superseded him with your thoughts and this and that? It's a struggle, and I'm not saying it's nothing you can't do, but I'm going to say it's a struggle when you're trying to provide it with the wrong partner. I don't even go too far to say now. It's a struggle for some men to do it now with any woman who's been by herself too long.
okay. Well, and I hear you. But my question still remains. When that's not the factor, when it's not the woman, and it's
Mm-hmm.
strictly the man, why does the man struggle with provision?
So, but
So I'll say this: the man with provision because he lack it. He don't have none. A man with vision don't lack provision or struggle with it. The only way he would struggle with it is if he's trying to keep the peace. It feel like, man, like, or he like if
I
he's
ain't doing
experienced,
nothing. We good.
he's experienced a bad situation that maybe give him some hesitation or some like apprehension to as if is it safe to share. So it could be like either the brother don't have any vision or like does he feel safe to actually share the vision like you know but one of the things in leadership with in work that I've learned is every conversation is a vision conversation. And if you understand, like it really is, it's like if and the people, right, who follow you are gonna ask you why. They're gonna ask you because they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to see oh, okay. I hear you that. They're trying to see what you see. And one of the greatest challenges for anybody with vision or responsible for having vision is helping people who follow you see what you see. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
sometimes in these relationships, it's hard. Like it's hard because you don't sometimes as a man, you're not as good as articulating the vision as you think you are. And you gotta begin to understand how that person receiving your vision, how they're what's their wiring and how they receive information. How do you make it make sense for them? Because it makes sense to you, but it may not make sense for them. You got to be good. You got to have the patience to be able to do that. I'm sorry.
Good.
And if you,
You're
and if you
good.
don't trust him, if you don't trust him, then you definitely not gonna understand his vision.
Well, it's not always because somebody challenge you on your vision doesn't not necessarily mean that they don't trust you all the time. Sometimes they just genuinely can't see what you're talking about. And sometimes when you feel like you're saying the same thing over and over and over again, it's tough. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? It's tough, but you saying the same thing over, and it'll be the same thing tricky as you saying, yo, like, D, blah, 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 blah. Tricky, I don't understand what you're talking about. But it's blah, 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 blah. I understand what you say, but I don't understand what you're talking about, right?
So, so now at this point, I have to break it down to you like a pre-K or kindergarten kid. So I have to ask questions. What are you not understanding about what I'm saying?
Right. You know what I'm saying?
But some of
Hey,
us don't do that. Like we just keep going back and forth.
Well, so that's what I was gonna interject and say. So I was in a leadership training today, and
Mm-hmm.
the lady who presented this model, I could share it with y'all if y'all want it, but it was a
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
business model, but it makes sense. So, and she was saying like when you don't have vision, it causes confusion.
yep.
Mm.
So if you're in a relationship and there's a lack of vision, lack of understanding the vision, lack of articulating said vision, all that's going to create is confusion. Confusion leads to chaos. Confusion leads to lack of respect, resentment. You can pick any other negative word that's out there. So you have to explain things, explain the vision in the way that your partner understands, not the way that you understand, which is why we talk about clarity and over communicating all these other things.
Mm. That's true. Two things can be true because that could be true, and you still can explain the vision. But if you have somebody that wants to be the captain of their own ship and trying to be in a relationship, it's not gonna work.
Well,
And
no,
I'll go far and say this. I totally believe sometimes women, you have the vision, and I know how to execute. So my thought would be, why is it I always have to have? Why do I have to have the vision? Because sometimes it's
Mhm.
you. There's a lot of brothers who have business ideas and they woman put it into play because they had the vision, but the brother had to execute. But you see how they came together to work as partners, and not
Well,
one feeling the top, one feeling more ahead of the other. It's a partnership.
Effective vision, though. Effective vision is inclusive vision. To say, and what am I saying when I say that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing for one person to have a vision,
Mm-hmm.
but it's another thing for us to have a shared vision.
Mm. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe another reason, right? Why it's difficult for him to share with you, doesn't see it as a shared vision with you.
Mm,
True.
now you done said a word.
So how does that make you feel if it's a vision he doesn't need to share with you?
Might not be a part of that business.
You might
Yeah.
not be a part of that
So
vision.
you don't feel
Right.
slighted?
You
Don't
might
feel
not be a
like
part of it.
you don't feel like he's building without getting wisdom or having a conversation?
Well, if he has a vision that doesn't include me, then we need to, well, we or he need to figure out what we doing.
Right.
Oh, you
Because
got
Right.
what we
yeah.
doing. What we not doing. Because somebody, it's just like y'all was talking earlier about how, hey, about how, you could be a placeholder for somebody. And if
Uh-huh.
your vision is something different, he excludes that from you, then you can see that he has potential or whatever, and it seems like he got something going on. You don't have anything that y'all have building together, then maybe this he a placeholder.
Mm. So I'm gonna relate this back to this, and then we do the 2 minute drill. So we're talking about Shawnee Houston talking about she didn't think she was in love with Mr. O'Neal, but she was in love with the idea. Could it been that maybe Mr. O'Neal had some visions that didn't include her, and she may have felt slighted?
No, I think that from her perspective, I think a lot of women get into marriage thinking with the idea that they want to be married, they're second of all, he's a good dude, and not really understanding what you need or what you want out of it. But if you in it because it's a great opportunity, it's a good dude, or family a good dude, or whatever, like you can see how great your life could be. Who doesn't want a great life?
I know a lot of people who messed up their life, but I do agree with what you said. Do definitely agree with what you said. All right, man. Hold y'all on. 2 minute drill. 2 minute drill. 2 minute drill. Let's get it on. Your last 2 minutes. We're gonna get on up out of here. I appreciate the crew chiming in. And regardless, I just thought I had questions. Like, I think it was more to what she said, even though it was just a quote that somebody took out. But it was just like, I think it's more than that. But I do salute her, applaud her for having reflection, for having responsibility, accountability, for in seeing her own actions and obviously learning that she couldn't be who she was in that relationship to be in the relationship that she is now. So 2 minute drill, 2 minute drill. I JJ, I'm gonna let you go first because I know you kicking with the kids.
Um, just keep it real with each other. That's fine.
Say it one more time.
Be honest and be real with your mate.
I think I heard you. I
Be
think I
she
heard
said
you
be
say about
honest and be she
be
said be
real.
honest and be real with your mate.
Oh, okay. Okay. Love it. Love it. All right. Well, tell the kids we say hello, man. Have a good time. Look,
Yeah.
Wesley.
Um, dang, I just had my thought. Uh,
We can come
be,
back to you. You
no,
can pray us out. You can pray us
Yeah,
no,
out.
you can pray us
no,
out. You can pray
no.
us out. You can pray us out.
Be transparent.
She's been here
Uh,
now.
be transparent. It is definitely important to be transparent. I again applaud Shani for having the moment to reflect and having the courage to even say it out loud of what her reflection means to her.
Cool. I'm going to say what I said earlier. Please Stop trying to be who you were in the relationship that you're in now, because who you were might not work for the relationship you're in now. It could be causing chaos and confusion and misunderstandings because you still try to be that same person. Because who I am and what I do are two different things. The deep.
I think that's a great segue into kind of what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all gotta identify like what's authentic to us individually and what we desire in relationships, right? Like, well, what's authentic to you as a person, right? Individually. And then identify if these things don't show up in my relationship, if I can't be this in this relationship, then something's going to be missing. Just like ideally, when I'm thinking about the perfect job, if there, what would make me miserable at work? What are the things that I'm just using as an analogy? Like, if these three things don't happen, or if these things aren't happening, that's really authentic to me and who I am. If I'm not able to operate in this kind of capacity, then I'm a struggle in this commitment. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
identifying that, and I think DJ Tricky, you asked the question, if you live fully from your emotions, who would you be? Right?
What would you do? Like if you
Like,
thought,
yeah,
if you did everything, if everything you did was dictated from your emotions and feelings, what would you do?
I'll be divorced.
Hmm.
I ain't even
Woo!
gonna, I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I'll be
Woo!
divorced for real. I'll be
Yes, sir.
ratchet. I'll be
Yes,
ratchet.
sir.
I'll
You
be
dangerous.
divorced. I'll be
You're
dangerous.
dangerous.
Like, I'm
You're
serious.
dangerous.
Like, I'm serious. It's like it's not as crazy inside as the show you on Netflix,
Uh-huh.
but the things if some of these things in my mind got out in real life, oh, it'd be trouble. Like I'd be in trouble. So that's all I would say to that. But yeah, 2 minute drill. I just thank you guys for your transparency and thank you guys for your vulnerability because that's how people get helped.
Yeah.
So shout
Yeah,
out
you
to
gotta
y'all.
want it. Gotta want it. Gotta want it. Please don't be dangerous with that being in your emotions and feelings. Everything you do is dictated through that. That is, yeah, that's scary. Well, go ahead, D. What you need to do? It's
Nah.
funny you mentioned about jobs, bro. I'm in the middle trying to pick which way I'm gonna lean. So, but I'm gonna let the Lord work it out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sometimes God trusts you to make the choice, though.
True,
To be honest
true,
with you.
true, true.
All right, let's pray. Heavenly Father,
Listen,
thank you so much about your for your love, your grace, and your mercy. Father, thank you for each and every person that's represented. Thank you for the gift of family time that Jules is able to have with her family and her children. God, I pray, Father, just over all of us as just people who seek to be good stewards in our lives. God, I pray for each and every person that's listening. I pray, God, that this was something that was a blessing to them. And God, just continue to give us wisdom on like things that we talk about that can genuinely help people and help them navigate through whatever issues they may be bringing to the table. Continue to give us wisdom as to what to talk about. Continue to give us wisdom on and discernment on what not to talk about. And Father, I ask that, you know, just a special prayer for Greg as he's deciding on his jobs. Like he has options at this point, and I think even just having that as a blessing. I
praise
pray and
God.
ask God that you would give him wisdom in making the best decision. That he's not moved by money, that he's not moved by status, but more or
Mm,
less he's moved by obedience.
yes, sir.
And God, that you would just guide him and keep him in that on it while he's on his journey and I pray, God, secondly, for Webby. And I just pray that you continue to strengthen her and help her continue to get through all that you have for her and all that you have in store for her as it relates to like what you're calling her into. Let her not feel like it's too big. Let her know that what you have for her is just for her. And let her not feel like she doesn't deserve it because everything you have for her, she absolutely deserves. We thank you so much for your love, your grace, and mercy. It's in your son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Look, think big, believe in God because you believe in us. You know, I live by two mantras, faith and prayer cannot dwell in the same place. And while you're on this side, till you get to the other side, I need you to love, live, and laugh. But before you leave, this is your challenge. I'm going to give you your challenge. It's a 30-day relationship challenge. I'm going to post it on my Facebook page on the full 180. I'll put it in the chat right now. But I want you to do this. This is a 30-day relationship challenge. So with your significant other in June, we want you to start day one. Send a sweet good morning text. Day two, play a game together. Give your spouse a compliment. Share your favorite couple memory. Listen to your spouse without interruption. Tell your spouse one thing you love about them. Share a fantasy. Watch a movie together. Ask 20 questions to know your spouse. Share what you did all day. Plan a future trip together. Send a card. Share your favorite couple picture. Know your partner. Love language. Share your favorite couple tour memory. Make a playlist of 10 songs. Ooh, that's dope. And listen together. Share why you fell in love with them. Eat your spouse's favorite food. Oh. Send a thoughtful miss you text. Sing together. Talk till late night just because. Groom up for your spouse and have a date. Cook together. Stay connected the whole day. Challenge each other to share the best joke. Share a secret. Send a flirty text while they are at work. Say I love you. Send a romantic goodnight text and write a long love letter. I challenge you people who are in relationships, have a significant other, to do this for the whole month of June. I want your feedback on how this went. Did it work for you? Will it bring y'all closer? Email us at the full 180 convo at gmail.com. The full 180 convo at gmail.com. I want to hear your testimonies. I want to know if this rekindled anything back in. Did it make you figure out what's next? Whatever the case. I think this would be very, very good. So the month of June, I want you to start this. I'm going to post it on my page, the full 180 page, and as well, I'll put it in the chat if I'm able to. But I really want you to try to do this. On behalf of Jules, Big D, excuse me, Dariana, and our
No
own
Diddy.
graduate,
No Diddy.
and our graduate with her master's, LLPC, AP, finna be principal, Lil Webby. Man, we thank you for joining us. We hope you got something out of this. We hope it starts a conversation where you are, and we hope you take this to make yourself better, not only just the person that sits from you or sleeps with you or does life with you better. Other than that, man, we'll see you next Tuesday right here. Shout out to all my teachers, 7 days, and we'll be out. Thank you for joining us right here on the Full 180. Have a good night.
Cool.
Bye, y'all.
Hey,
Little country.
hey, look,
What?
question
What?
for next time. If your love language was an R&B song, what would it be?
Next time.
I can answer it right now.
No. He said next
Yeah,
time.
come on, because I might forget.
You don't follow instructions. Next
Teachers
time.
don't follow instructions.
Yes, they do. Oh, you right. You manipulate them.
I don't manipulate the rules. I learned them. Big
And
difference.
then you manipulate them.
That's a good one though, huh?
I like that.
I
What
like
is an R&B song? Say it again, D.
If your love language was an R&B song, what would it be?
I got the song in my head. Let me put it down.
It can't be March Madness, pimp.
No, it ain't March Madness.
That's not an R&B song either.
Yeah, but I'm talking about this one right here. She probably gonna pull a song out from 19 when you was in high school.
First of all, not too much.
Wherever he trying.
Yeah,
I'm gonna write that down, bro. Hey, you know what?
I'm writing it down right now. R&B song to represent my love language.
I'm gonna put it on my page, bro, and see what people say. If
Yeah,
your love
it
language was an R&B song,
what would it
ooh, hey,
what would
I
it
got
be?
one better. What if your love language was a church song? What would it be?
Oh no. No, bro. That ain't, just do the R&B song. Oh gosh.
Okay, then.
Uh,
What is your
I
alter
got my
your
song
alter
written down.
your alter ego? What would be your alter ego's theme song?
Ooh.
oh man. Yeah, alter ego's theme song.
Your alter ego theme song. What would it be?
Oh, March Madness.
Oh Lord. Okay. Should have known.
I'm here for the R&B song, and y'all won't let me tell
Let's
y'all.
go. God,
Tell
we
it.
don't
Where be? Just come
No,
up. Just you
I
might
was
have another
supposed
one
to
by
follow
next week.
instructions.
No, Webby. You might have another one by next week. What is it?
Touch Me, Tease Me by Case.
Oh man.
see, nasty, nasty, always
No,
nasty.
man. I'm telling you.
Touch
I'm
me,
telling you.
tease me.
It's
Webby,
protected my
Webby,
love
Webby,
language.
Webby
I
has
thought it would
said
have been
that on
something.
multiple accounts. Like
Yeah, cause she was.
Listen, Webby wants you to do her like Uncle Elroy did Sugar. You know what I'm saying? You remember how Uncle Elroy did Sugar when he told Sugar to go upstairs? You know what I'm saying? Uncle Elroy told Sugar to
He
go
told Uncle
upstairs.
Elroy to go upstairs.
Yeah, so then Sugar told me,
Ooh.
okay, give me some before I leave.
No
Boy,
lies
you crazy.
detected.
Oh my God. Y'all crazy.
I can see I get it. I'm telling you.
I did though. That's what's up. I liked it. I liked
And,
it.
and what's yours, Tricky and Darian?
He said next week. I'm gonna get mine next week.
Oh, I'm
I'm
gonna
not
have a
giving you
different
mine.
next week.
Well, good. I'm glad you are.
But for right now,
Uh
Touch Me, Tease
No,
Me.
yeah, okay. You must be tingling.
No.
oh. Oh.
Now, no.
Must
Okay.
be tingling.
Oh.
All right,
Hey.
tingling, tingling.
No single. I was gonna say something, but you still got us on live, so I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah, this ain't a candy conversation.
Oh man, that's funny. We
Now, if he
probably
turn
got
that live off, we
Yeah,
can have
y'all
this
funny.
candy conversation.
Y'all funny. No, man, we're not.
Okay, then. So
It
Alicia
ain't no like
is gonna
that.
keep her mouth shut.
it. Right. I feel
Oh,
you.
okay.
I feel you.
All right,
I
man. Let me
feel
get
you.
driving. I gotta get my other stuff done.
All right.
Bye.